Welcome back to another Worthless Mutts. Gore the Dog Butcher back again to shine a light on this worthless dog culture. I've been meaning to make a video all week, but I've been so tired waking up at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. and as soon as I get home, I'm asleep. I'm falling asleep. I'm crashing. But nevertheless, we're here with another to shine light again on this dog culture. I'm really bad with titles, specifically when I have a lot of things to talk about that I've uncovered. But the title for this video, I'm gonna call it "Another Day, More Dognuttery." So we're just gonna look at a lot of various dog nuttery that has been going on, past, present. We're gonna touch base on things that I have touched on before, but I think it's good to touch them again and to keep repeating them again and again and again to let people know, hey, I know that this is happening, and hey, we got to do something. Yeah, so we touch base on a lot of things today in this video. I'm going to try my best to be as prompt as possible, but we'll see, and I'll try to keep this video within an hour. All right, first thing I want to cover is the top 50 reasons not to get a dog. This is on pethelpful.com, obviously a dog nuttery website. So we're going to see what they say regarding not getting a worthless mutt. And the reasons they have, picking up the dog crap, exercise because you always have to constantly walk the worthless mutt. Attention, dogs are just annoying, so you have to constantly give it attention. Veterinarian costs, again, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. General maintenance, dogs are worthless. They can't take care of themselves. They can't groom themselves. Therefore, you have to pay tons of money to groom these worthless mutts. Here's a video, not going to watch it. I'm guessing they're saying this might be annually what they're paying, maybe not. 73,000. You can even say 74,000. Probably a year, within 2 years, 3 years. Still a lot of money. Food expenses, necessary extras, fleas. Again, dogs are just, they're worthless. They can attract fleas and ticks and etc. Travel logistics. They say unlike cats, which are independent, they can be left with food and water for a couple of days. If you go away for a weekend, dogs do not do well on their own because they're worthless, they're stupid, they're incompetent. Allergies and phobias. Like any pet that you bring into your home, dogs can trigger allergies to people. Digging for absolutely no reason. Early mornings. So some dog nuts have to get up very early in the morning to walk their worthless mutt, just so they can pick up their dog shit. The barking, dog piss, and their lifespan. And they say dogs don't particularly live long. You build up an extremely close attachment to the worthless mutt over the years, and one day they die after living a worthless life. This can be particularly distressing for children. Typically, a dog's lifespan is somewhere between 7 and 12 years, depending on the breed. And that is 1 day, 1 second, too long. So planning on getting a new computer by the fall winter. This time I really am. I know in the last 3 years I've been saying get a computer, get a computer. Haven't done it. Get a computer, haven't done it. But by the September, fall, winter, I am getting a new one. I'm sick and tired of this computer. I am tired of it. But anyways, and in this website, it says, how much does it cost? How much does it cost to own a worthless mutt? 7 Canadians break down their budgets. We're going to let them talk. Probably going to get an ad. I see the ugly. Yeah! I did not mean to scare anyone. That thing is ugly. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. So I gotta wait 30 seconds after this ad to see another 30-second video, but yeah, yeah, these things, it's a money mine, if that makes sense. It's all about the money, and they lied. They have to lie in order to make money. If they were honest, they wouldn't make a dime. Not sure why I can't. Okay, so it's just music. So in 2018, report on ratemarket.ca found the average cost of a worthless puppy in the first year was about $2,000. You could even say $3,000 for one of these worthless things. You got to pay $3,000. Man. Experts say, oh, come on. Experts say there are many overlooked expenses. Of course. It's dog culture for you. They say one of the big ones is kennel boarding. It can cost from $600 to $850 a year, depending on how much you travel. So I'm still a little tired, but I got to do this. They said grooming adds up to, depending on the kind of worthless mutt you have, can cost up to $500 a year. Because these things cannot groom themselves. You got to do it for them because these things are worthless, incompetent. Pet insurance is another expense if you want to have your dog's medical expenses covered. This ugly thing. Bear with me. You're looking to the range of $30 to $120 in insurance a month for a worthless mutt, man. I'm telling you. Whoever came up with this dog industry is a genius. At the same time, man, they're to learn more about expenses, yada yada yada. So, yeah, I don't want to read all this. So, okay, good. So they go through the monthly expenses. So for one person, for a year, they're spending over, say, $15,000 on a worthless mutt. $15,000. It's another bully breed. You're spending $4,000. Tell me this bully breed only costs $4,000. This worthless mutt, you're spending $1,000. This one here is $3,000. $4,000. $8,000 for this, or $2,000. This is money well wasted. Another $4,000. All these things. For what? For nothing. And these things live such short lives, apparently. And you're wasting us money for absolutely nothing whatsoever. whatsoever. Sure, you can spend your money on whatever you want. But I'm just letting you know, dogs are worthless. Yeah, so I'd asked the question, and I covered this before in a video way before. And the question was, why do dogs have so many health problems? And they say, so we're gonna look at the graph. So this graph, let's make it bigger. So in terms of domestic animals, dogs, dominate in terms of health problems. They dominate. Like they're doing so well in terms of, having so many health problems. And in terms of wild animals, it's pretty low. And they said this second graph is of wild, non-domestic animals. First, notice the difference in the y-axis scale compared to the first graph. The maximum number of traits genes here is less than 10. And for some of these species, the traits listed are for things like coat color, blood group, so not really diseases at all. But to be fair, there are a few similar traits in the dog data, but I didn't include them in the graph. So the funny thing is, dogs have so much health problems, and they live with a dog nutter that takes care of them, feeds them, takes them to the vet, all that stuff, exercise, they take care of them, I guess you can say, really well, but yet they still suffer. While real animals out in the wild, they do pretty well. They do pretty well. And I know they're not perfect. Not saying no animal is raised with a disease or not. But you compare this graph to dogs. Wild animals on their own, surviving on their own, less health problems, but dogs who are governed, taken care of all the time, worshipped all the time, but yet they suffer the most. Can you believe that? And they do nothing. They do nothing except walk and eat. That's all they do. They're not watching their back for predators. They're not doing none of that. They're not living in the woods and having to, make their homes or anything. No, they just sit in a corner or whatever, walk around, roaming, doing nothing. But yet they suffer the most. I'm not going to get into all this, but they also add most genetic diseases in dogs are a consequence of paired autosomal recessive Alice, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and this has occurred because the breeding practices we are just discussed. This means that these diseases were entirely avoidable. So I'm not sure what they said. I'm not going to read all this, but it's based on the graph. Dogs dominate, real animals don't. And people are like, what about cats? Okay, I'm not talking about cats. You want to go talk about cats? Go talk about cats. I'm here to expose and to talk about these worthless ones. That's all that matters for me. You say, oh, you just mentioned wild animals. Of course I did. Just to compare dogs to real animals. And you can see how worthless dogs are. Just look how worthless they are. They do nothing. Nothing. Literally, they do nothing for themselves, nothing for anyone. People have to pretend they do something. Nothing. In Palm Springs, since this is somewhere in LA, when they do this shit, in the I'm gonna skip that. In Palm Springs, dog becomes city's first canine mare. I'm not making this up, people. This happened July 11th. It says Buddy Holly, 6-year-old worthless mutt, was sworn in as Palm Springs' first canine mare on Monday. This mutt was a resident of Palm. Who cares about that? So the thing won stupid, dog contests, and somehow it's been elected mayor. and this is probably going to happen to a lot of cities, countries around the world, where they're going to have a dog as a mayor, as a leader in politics, a dog. That's where we're going. This is what I say. I always say that they always start off very, very small. And eventually it just grows and grows and grows and grows. Right now we have a chance to stop this from continuing. We can stop it right here. But eventually, and probably has been going on now, I haven't heard anything other than this, but I can see down the road where some countries, cities, they're going to have a worthless mutt as their country or their city leader. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but dog breed disorders. We're going to look at multiple dogs and their disorders. To me, it's more of a blessing that these things get these things. It's more of a blessing than a disorder. And we all know that these things are mutants created in labs, and they've probably been from behind the curtains. I can guarantee a lot of these dogs, when they're trying to create them, they were abused, they were exploited, they were thrown away, tested on, trying to make this right, type of things, and we get this, and we get these, we get these brain dead, ugly ass, deformed pieces of garbage. I'm not gonna read through all of them, but we'll read through some of the main ones that we should know about. The Chow Chow, this one, if you've seen them or know about them, they are really brain dead. They're very aggressive. They are brain dead. Their health problem is hip bone. I can't pronounce the word. I'll call it DY, hip elbow DY, respiratory problems. We have the worthless German Shepherd, known for attacking innocent people. Common health problems, vision problems, epilepsy. We'll call this myopathy. Oh my God, it's crashing again. We have the Pugly, the breathing dog. Oh my God. I call them pan face dog because their face looks like they were hit with a hot pan. Look at it. Looks like hit with a hot pan. This one has respiratory problems, dry skin, dry eyes, skin infection, difficult birth. The worthless retriever. Worthless retriever, cancer, hip, elbow. I'll call it DY, bone disorder. The Rottweiler, I'm not pronouncing this, has OST. I'll call it OST. Has cancer, vision problems, heart problems, hip and elbow, DY. And that's probably why this thing is so aggressive. Probably. Thing's probably suffering so much pain. Plus it's brain damaged brain. And it just has to be vile. Has to be very vile. Then we got the worthless this ugly droopy face dog. Call it Saint Droopy. Has heart problem, bone cancer, hip, elbow, DY. And this is only some. And these are just mutants. And I guarantee, I know I say it a lot, but I guarantee a lot of these things were experimented on, breeded, very harsh breeding process with who knows with what. Some make it, some don't. They just throw them out. It's trial and error. I guarantee it's a bloodbath where these things come from. A bloodbath. Health issues in giant breeds, bloats, growth-related problems, calcium imbalance, hip, I'll call it DY, arthritis, bone cancer, genetic factors. I mean, all of them. All these dogs have genetic factors because, again, they're brain dead, they're stupid, they're worthless. And I think, worthless should be part of the health issue because none of these things can do anything on their own. They can't. They can't survive in the wild. Can't do nothing on their own. And speaking of worthless, as we know, dogs are worthless. They can't survive in the cold. Can't survive a home. They can't survive alone. They can't survive at night. They can't survive at day. Can't survive in the woods. Can't survive in the streets. Can't survive alone at home in a crate on a leash. They can't survive in the summer. Like these things struggle with everything. They struggle with everything. Everything they struggle with. They can't even stand themselves. Even eating, because these things will eat anything. Screws, glass, mind you. A ball. Man, and they say summer safety tips for dogs, but dogs aren't reading this. It should say summer safety tips about dogs. Dogs aren't reading this. Dogs don't even know what the hell they can or cannot do. They'll just do it. They'll just do it. Look what they say. You gotta use sunscreen for these things. Parasite protection. Avoid lilies. Campfire, barbecue safety, clean your barbecue well, and always be on the guard when grilling food. So you gotta keep Fido on a very short leash while cooking outdoors. Oh my goodness. Use a life jacket. Always have your dog in a brightly covered. I gotta give them a life jacket. Gotta keep them hydrated. Gotta keep coats long. Keep them short. It's ridiculous. So much. How are these things not worthless? Like how? And we already read that these things need attention. They have health problems. Can't survive in the summer. Can't survive at home alone or whatever on a leash. Always attacking people. They're ugly. They're deformed. They have all these health problems. How are these things not worthless? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, continue on. This happened just a few years ago. But it's good again to revisit these old stories to let these dog nutters know that hey, this dog nuttery has been happening for a very long time, and during this era, 2015, I wasn't around doing this. Not many of these anti-dog people were doing this. They were there quietly, but back then, no one said anything. Not to my understanding. I didn't know. Like I didn't really hear anything about people hating dogs until maybe 2018. Maybe 2018. Again, I always hated dogs. At the beginning of this whole channel, I was just posting like videos of dogs attacking or getting attacked, and it was all jokes, but I did not know what I know now about dogs. Back then, I was oblivious. All I knew was I hated them. But now, I can educate these worthless dog nut owners. But back in 2015, a 3-year-old baby dies after being attacked by family pet. And they actually have to use the name. Like, why? Can you just say by the at least the family dog? And look how they word it. They're just downplaying it. 3-week-old, 3 weeks, mind you, has died after being bitten by the father's pet terrier. Guarantee it was not just a bite. This was a mauling. This was a torture. Baby's name was Reggie. Reggie Young, bitten by the dog at his home in Sutherland. In his home. He was rushed to hospital after the attack by the Pettledale Terrier. I want to know what this is. I've never heard of it. Let's see. Whoa, looks like a bully breed. Looks like a bully breed. This looks like a bully breed. Bully breed. Let's see. Are these bully breeds? Pocket pit bulls. Yep, they are bully breeds. Are also known as Petter bulls. They just called it Petterdale. They call it Petterdale, but they're calling it Petter bulls. Mini pits, and pocket bullies are hybrid dog breed. Speaking of the child being bit, and obviously they're downplaying it. Maybe I have it. I should have it. So here's a video of what I think actually happened. So this dog is attacking a dog. The dog is dead. And just watch how this thing attacks. Watch how it attacks. It bites and it aggressively shakes. See, the dog doesn't even care about the car. It bites and shakes. Can't see too well. Let me zoom in. It's gonna bite and shake. Is this dog happy? See? It shakes. See? It shakes the other dog like a rag doll. Bite. It's gonna shake again. The thing is dead, mind you. It's dead already. It's already dead, and it's still shaking. Bite and shake. Still shaking. Still attacking. Even though the thing is dead. It's dead. It's not fighting back. Is this thing hungry? If it's hungry, then eat the thing. But this looks like it's I don't know what the word is to this. The thing is already dead, so it's past suffering. But yet this thing is gonna bite and shake aggressively. Bite. And shake. See? Thing's already dead. It's not fighting back. And shake. I hope I may get in trouble for that, but it's something I gotta show you. So they just said bitten. I guarantee this young one was bitten, and that dog shook him like a rag doll. I just wish that whoever the parents are, the grandparents, whoever dog this is. Wait. They said police have arrested a 30-year-old man in connection with the incident over the concerns for the care of the baby at the time of the incident, but he has been released on police bail. Weeks old. Yeah, otherwise it's sad. It is sad. Yeah, so just waiting for the thing. Thing's always slowing down for whatever reason. Wow. All right. So, in a in a video I did many weeks ago or months ago, I did state how people say, dog nuts say that dogs can sense bad people, and I stated that how come when dogs are with bad people, like people like criminals, they don't attack the criminal. Some criminals own these dogs, but they still obey the criminal. These dogs will go out and attack innocent children, babies. We just read about a 3-week-old getting attacked. But these dog nuts will say dogs can sense bad people. So why do these dogs listen and obey criminals like this? So we're gonna hear what they have to say.
Looking for two men who pulled off a bizarre robbery. The suspects apparently used a dog as a weapon. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza live in South Shore where this all happened. Hey, Sabrina.
So the two men with their pit bull, police say, walked up to a man who was parked in his car just on the street here and then unleashed their pit bull onto the dog in an attempt to rob him. This happened just after 4:30 this morning and just along East 67th and South Jeffrey. The 30-year-old's black Nissan sedan was still here hours later. Meanwhile, the two offenders took his belongings, wallet, keys, money, and the dog bit him in his left arm and both legs, tearing into his skin. After that, police say he took himself to UFC for treatment and right now is in serious condition. Police say their investigation continues while they are looking for those two people and the pit bull responsible. We're in South Shore. Sabrina Franza, CBS 2 News.
Thanks, Sabrina.
4:30 this morning.
Yeah. So again, why? I'm just confused. Very confused. If dogs can sense bad people, why do dogs listen and obey their criminal owners instead of attacking them? But these dogs will still attack people, innocent people, who didn't do anything. Why? Again, why do these dog nuts ignore this type of stuff? Like, why do they make up garbage every day? But they can never, like, at least, admit when they've been wrong about something. They don't admit when they've been wrong. They just ignore it and just keep going and saying the same garbage over again. It's ridiculous. 54% of dog owners have regrets about getting a worthless mutt. Try not to read all of it, but sentiment about dog ownership regret, strongly agree, somewhat agree, borderline. Wow. Northern East has the highest percent of dog owners with regret, and the Southwest has the least, 68, 56, 48, 42, 39%. So I ask, why not just give it away? Just give the dog away. Why not just give it away? Hey, I have regret. You know what? This thing is not for me. Give it away. Just throw it away. Abandon it. Give it to a shelter, Yolan or something. And here are the challenges. They say cleaning up after the dog hair, finding care when traveling, training the worthless mutt, cost of having it. Again, it's all about the money. But dog nuts are going to ignore that. But they view dogs as worthless. They know dogs are worthless. They view them as worthless. And they don't want to see people giving away something so worthless. So they rather someone keep this worthless thing just so businesses can keep making money. That's just how I see it. The barking and whining, other dog noise, my dog's health issues, they're, let's say they make a mess, walking the dog, letting the dog out regularly, dog escaping, finding lost dog, sleep problems, socialization of the dog. Again, it's about conditioning and brainwashing the dog to act and behave a certain way. The dogs don't choose this. It's these dog nut owners that choose to have the dog behave a certain way. Dogs aren't choosing to want to do this. These dog owners, the dog industry, dog trainers are forcing dogs to be a certain way because they know that the natural state of these dogs is worthless, it's repulsive. They know that. If that wasn't the case, why do owners train them? Why do owners train dogs? Why do owners, do all this stuff for dogs just so they can listen and obey? Because they know dogs are incompetent. They're worthless. Their natural state is repulsive. It's annoying. They know that. So they have to mold and train and brainwash and condition and shape this dog to the way that these owners want. The owner wants the dog to do this, this, and this. The owner doesn't care what the dog does. There may be a slight exception, but the owner wants that dog to listen to him or her or them. Listen, obey, do what you're told. Look where we are. We're reading about dog nuts regretting wanting to own a dog. And they're using the term socialization. Guarantee what they really mean is the dog can't be trained. The dog isn't, willing to be conditioned or brainwashed. That's what they want to say. Destruction by the dog, biting. I haven't experienced any challenges, but yet they don't want the worthless mutt. And they can't afford vet bills. I'm telling you, it's a money mine. The dogs, it's just about money. Money. I want to see something. First veterinarian in the world was back to 30,000 BC in Mesopotamia. First, let's say dog veterinarian in the world. Nothing here. But I can take a guess that the veterinarian field really boomed when this dog culture became a thing. because from things we read and know about dogs, it's money. It's about the money. You make money from these things. Dogs are props. Dogs are bank. Just unblocked it. So I wouldn't be surprised that, veterinarians pre-dog culture, or I don't know, pre-dog boom or whatever you want to call it, they probably weren't getting, it probably wasn't an attractive career path. But once dogs became a thing, my assumption is that's when veterinarians, started making bank. And they realized, hey, we can make a lot more money, selling these dogs. We sell the dogs, they get sick, they come to us, they pay us. So they're getting money. They're getting money from selling the dog and for, taking care of the dog. That's just my assumption of what happened. Excuse me, 1 second. All right. So this happened just last year. No, 2 years ago. 3 years. 3 years ago. Man claiming to teach pit bull to drive, arrested after high-speed chase. A high-speed chase up Intercept 5 on Sunday ended with state troopers arresting only the passenger of the suspect vehicle. That's because the driver's seat was occupied by a pit bull. The dog's owner, 51-year-old Lakewood man, reportedly told troopers he was teaching his pet to drive. The man was arrested on investigation of DUI, reckless driving, hit and run, felony eluding the Washington State Patrol. That's all they say. That's pretty much it. You can't make this up, people. Can't make this up. This is what we get when we allow these dogs in our society. We get a bunch of stupid, reckless people out there. This is what we get. How about this story? Woman drowns after jumping into river to see if her dog will save her. Oh my God. We cannot make this up, people. Can't make this up. Woman leaped into a river to test if her dog would rescue her, only to be swept away, has been found dead. Unnamed woman, age 46, was walking with her friends near the river in South Korea, early morning, July 1st, when she entered the river to see if her dog would come to her if she was drowning. She was then washed downstream by rapid currents. And I bet this dog didn't even bat an eye. Didn't even bat an eye. Oh, man. Police and fire authorities rushed to the scene to help find the missing woman using helicopters, boats, and drones. Look what they did. All this for a dumbass dog nutter. They used helicopters, boats, drones. But unfortunately, fortunately, because this is a dumb person, and they got what they deserved. They did it to themselves. I didn't do it. I didn't do a single damn thing. And I've been saying dog nutters are really dumb people. I've said it before. They're dumb. They're not that bright. They're not that smart. Hey, they could be good at art and writing and all that stuff. Great. Good cookers. They can cook. Great. But you're a dog nutter. And you still do dumb things So therefore, you're gonna look very, very dumb, like very dumb, very dumb. And if you worshipped your other skills, just like the way you worship dogs, and you minus the dog, take away the dog, and just do your thing, I think a lot of you dog nuts would be a lot happier. I think a lot of you dog nuts are sad and broken inside. You're destroyed. This dog culture is destroying you, and this is what happens. You do stupid things like this. It's so stupid. Like, you can't argue with me. This is dumb. Oh, you should be more sympathetic. No, I'm not being no sympathetic for no damn dog nutter. This is happening in 2023. If this was maybe early 2000s, I wouldn't be so extreme. 2023. She's 46 years old, mind you. 46. And she was ignorant and oblivious to the fact that dogs are worthless. At 46, she decided to jump in the river to see if her worthless mutt is going to save her. And guess what happened? She died. And I say good riddance. You're living to 46 and you don't know the facts about dogs? You don't know what dogs really are, what they really do? And you want to do something so reckless like this? Then good for you. If this was the 1930s, I might let it go. This is 2023, guys. There's no excuse for this type of behavior. None whatsoever. And this person says, many dogs are smarter than their owners. You know, I'm on the borderline. I'm on the borderline. But I'm not saying dogs are beneficial anyway. Dogs are still worthless. They're still stupid. But maybe, dogs actually are smarter than their dog nut owners. Oh boy, people. Kind of already went through this. Dogs and their health problems. And this is just a landmine, man. A money mine. This is a money mine. Man, if I could actually find out like why and how this dog culture started, that's what I want to know. I want to figure out how this dog culture started out. Who started it? Like, what was said? Like how did it start like this? Like, how? Because before before all this dog nut stuff, like, they did not view dogs as anything special. They just view them as nasty, disgusting things. And they treated them like so. They treated them like dirt. They just killed them then and there like nothing. But why did that change? And we're seeing before our eyes many countries, and excuse the noise going upstairs, but many countries that you would never think are dog nutters are becoming dog nutters. Countries like India, I'm not sure if they were always like dog nutters, but I'm starting to, things are looking like they've been adapting to this dog nut society. I'm not sure if they always were dog nuts, always owned dogs like this, but I'm noticing through the news and even to those that live where I live, a lot of them now are dog nuts. You would never, I don't think ever in my life till like just recently I ever seen brown people walk dogs. I never seen it before until like now, just recent. It's just strange. They just come over here and all of a sudden they're dog nutters? Man, oh man. I just wish to know how this thing started. Like I want to know the exact time someone was like, "Hey, we can make a lot of bank on these things." But we may never find out. But anyways, why do dogs have so many health problems? And watch what this person says. Not all of them do. And he says some are naturally predisposed to issues because they were bred into stupid bodies. They're worthless. This person is basically saying that they're, were created into worthless bodies. Things like skin folds, pug's face aren't good for them. But we think they're... so we breed them like that. Because they're not real animals. They're mutants. Created in labs. And they started, it says the Whippets. I never heard of this one before. The Whippets. The Whippets. Oh, this thing. There's a large demand for purebred dogs over mutts. Nature has shown that if the occasional variety isn't introduced into a gene pool, health issues will rise. Because they're worthless. Mutts are usually quite healthy as they have been allowed to evolve a little more naturally and pass on traits that make them help. Pass on traits? How can these things pass on traits? If these dognut owners are cutting off their junk, and many of them don't procreate. Pass on genes? What are we talking about here? Evolve? These things have not evolved. They're the same worthless pieces of garbage that they've always have been. How about this? Speaking of evolution, hundreds of worthless retrievers gather in highlands. So look at this madness. Look at this madness. Just so they can look at these things sitting and doing nothing. They're taking pictures of dogs sitting and doing absolutely nothing. And what triggered me, might not be the right words, have gathered at Highland ancestral home of the breed. What? They've gathered at the Highland ancestral home of the breed. The first golden retriever worthless mutts were born in the first golden retriever puppies were born only 150 years ago. Only 150 years ago. That's fairly young. So these things were haven't been around for more than 200 years now. Keep that in mind. They were bred. Again, these things are natural. These things are not natural. They are created in labs, like I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. They were bred by this person who wanted a gun dog. What is a gun dog? What is a gun dog? So this guy wanted a dog to kill real animals. This is 155 years ago. He wanted a dog to kill real animals. So they created these things. I'm telling you, they create these things. Mind you, 155 years ago, they didn't have the tech. I'm guessing they didn't have the tech that we have back then. So guarantee this was a bloodbath. And ancestors? What ancestors? What ancestors are they talking about? A series of events including walks, workshop, demonstrations, and the nighttime possession have been taking place. All this for a worthless mutt? Like, is it the workshop for the dogs or for the people? I'm this is crazy. Ah, yuck. Yuck. These dogs are creepy looking too. They're creepy looking. There's a golden retriever club. How are we doing for time? Oof. Almost done. I'm going to go over an hour, but yeah. And over 40 years later, in 1913, these worthless mutts were recognized as a breed in the Kennel Club. How come? Like, how do dog nuts ignore things like this? These are not real animals. These things are I'm pretty sure these things have a lot of health problems. These were created in these labs. Barbaric labs. And they wanted a slave. They want slaves. They make these things so they can have a dog obey them. They don't make these things. I don't know. They don't make these things just so they can live. They made them worthless and stupid so they can obey people. Just dog nuttery for you. And how about this? Family says they paid $17,000 for a service dog that doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Dog culture.
Action 9 investigator Jason Sturgeon.
I really don't care. But what I really want to say is it's so easy. It is so easy to con these dog nutters. So easy to make money. So easy to make these dog nutters look a fool. Even when they're telling you right in your face that these things are not real animals. They're not real. They're brain dead pieces of garbage. Only created to be enslaved. They don't question that. They're not gonna question like, what? Only 155 years ago? I thought dogs were always here, but no. They weren't always here. Dogs were not always here. Not these ones. They were not always here. Pit bulls, I'm certain they were not always here. Man. I really do want to know, like, what is the origin of how is the origin of these things? What is it? I think that's it for today. Yeah, that's about it. Hang on. I think there's one more thing I wanted to look at. is that black? So one more thing I wanted to look at. Bear with me. Let's see, past week. Trying to see if there are any dog attacks in Canada in the past week. Yeah, it's dog nuttery in Canada. It's very quiet here. No. Ooh. May have found one. Fort Simpson elder threatens war with the dogs after attack. How's who he's talking about? Wilbert Antoine was visiting family just outside the community of Fort Simpson when he says he was attacked by a dog that had broken its chain. At least a minute I realized there's a dog running at me. He said it lunged at me, and I put my left arm to protect myself. It lashed onto my left hand and just shook the daylights out of it. I went to kick it, and it latched onto my left lower leg. At the point, Antoine managed to free himself. The next day, he was flown to Yellowknife for medical care, where he was treated for a broken hand and several deep puncture wounds. And he had to be vaccinated for the infections. Antoine is recovering at home, but will return to Yellowknife in 2 weeks for further care. He says he approached the RCMP to ensure the animal was dealt with, but says he was told that because the incident happened on private property, their hands were tied. I told them, "You're protecting a vicious dog. Here I am, all ripped up, an elder. I need medical attention. I'm disabled in one hand. You're protecting a worthless mutt." Technically, they have the right to seize any dog found to be at large and to kill any dog attacking another person or animal. When vicious dogs get loose and attack people or property, owners are liable to be fined up to $2,000 or imprisoned up to 6 months, should be higher. Through those consequences are rarely enforced. Before Simpson Mayor Sean Willey and RCMP each said the incident happened outside municipal limits, which means they're not able to intervene or enforce the bylaw. And he says what we all should be saying. This is what we all should be saying. If they're not willing to act, he's prepared to take matters into his own hands. Remember what I said, dog nutters, stay in line, or your dogs will get... I forgot what he said, but... Or your dogs will get pow, pow, pow. There you have it. I think that speaks for itself. I've said it before, but right now I am tired. Just want to end it now and just move on because I am tired. So that's it for the week. Things that I found or what I've thought of and I wanted to share with everyone. Yeah, another day, more dog nuttery. Another week, more dog nuttery. Same old, same old, same old, same old all the time. It's just too repetitive. Like dogs are a major problem. They're a major problem to everyone, even dog owners themselves, even to other dogs. And nothing is done about them. We may kill a dog for attacking, but then we move on. But what about the rest? Why wait? Why wait for another attack? Probably because the health industry makes a lot of bank from people who have been harmed by dogs. And if you give that away, you're giving away millions upon millions of dollars each year. So it's no surprising why the health industry, the dog industry, the governments aren't doing anything, because these dogs help create bank. That's all they are. They're worthless pieces of garbage. A lot of dogs know they're garbage. Owners know they're worthless. They may not say it in those words, but they are worthless. They're worshipped for nothing at all, because they sit and they do absolutely nothing for themselves. They do nothing for other people. They do nothing. But unless you want to say attack or annoy people, but there's nothing beneficial about them. You can't bring up service dogs because it's people training and drugging them up. People are training and drugging them up. You have to spend thousands of dollars or wait whatever to get these service dogs. And what does the service dog do? Nothing. And I would like to see some stats of how service dogs have helped people. Have they helped people? Have they cured whatever they're going through? And if they have been, why do dog nutters still require these service dogs? But anyways, I'm tired. Just rambling and talking too much. I'm going to get out of here. This is another Worthless Mutt. Score the Dog Butcher. And remember, it's okay to hate